Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you, Josh Hanson, for joining us from Spanky Stone Hearth. How are you doing?
Good, Sherri.
Good. We're sitting in front of the fireplace here, and if you walk into Spanky Stone Hearth, you know a fireplace isn't an odd thing, but what's special about the fireplace we're sitting in front of today, Josh?
This is the original fireplace built in 1946 when the restaurant was built.
Yeah, we're in the dining room, right? Okay.
The original Stone Hearth. A lot of you, if you've been out to the restaurant, are familiar with the fireplace in the lounge area. We put that up in 2005, and we've got such a great response from it each winter. With the idea of being able to sit in front of the fireplace and have a great meal, we thought we would, I don't know, refurbish the old one?
Well, you know, the old one was very classic. And that's what kind of, wasn't it like Rocky Bar and Stone Hearth and what they kind of, I think it was like the icon for the restaurant in that era.
Right. It was a namesake actually, and what had happened throughout the years, the firebox on the fireplace where we're at now had deteriorated, and we couldn't get a draft to flow through.
So it wasn't functional.
Exactly. So what we did is we refinished it, and with all local stones and pavers, and it just turned out beautiful. We're getting wonderful compliments.
And there's nothing that smells better than an original wood fire.
Right.
Yeah. Now I do know that there was some controversy when it came time to taking down the original icon that a lot of people had a lot of memories about. How did you handle that one, Josh?
There was a lot of sentimental value, if you will. So what we did, we saved about half of the rocks from the old fireplace, and you probably can't see them from this shot, but they are here. So everybody that wants to come out and look at the original Stone Hearth, there's still some work there from that.
There's still some of those, and you know, maybe it's a stone that they leaned against or something when they had their dancing days out here. I think that's what they were looking for.
We'll let them think that at least.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's really beautiful, Josh, and it just adds to the nice ambiance of the whole dining room. And talking about the ambiance of the dining room, we have a special day coming up where you tend to be very busy and you run some specials, and it's Valentine's Day. So tell me what you got going for that.
Valentine's happens to fall on a Sunday this year, which is kind of odd. Not necessarily the night most people go out to eat, but so with that being said, we're going to be running specials that whole week.
Oh, the week before?
The week before Valentine's.
Okay, and so from
leading up to Valentine's Day.
Sure, so Wednesday probably like the 9th or something like that. 10th.
Correct.
Okay.
And from that Wednesday through Sunday, we will be running steak and lobster, steak and crab legs, which are kind of two mainstays for
some reason
the
for Valentine's Day
weekend.
It is, yes.
Treat your sweetheart.
Yeah, and yourself.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be doing prime rib and some local fare menu items as well.
Okay, and do you suggest reservations, Josh, when you're talking Valentine's?
Wintertime gets a little slower, but I would still suggest reservations. And there's 2 tables in front of this fireplace that are still available right now.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And then you do reserve special, I mean, if they say we want a fireplace table, you'll do whatever you can to get to that. And that's why it is kind of nice to call in for a reservation. I mean, even if you're not completely full as far as the restaurant goes, if you have a special table you want to be by.
Certainly. If you want to sit in front of the fireplace, a lot of times we do some different flambe desserts for you if you're having a special night, such as an anniversary or a birthday.
It's funny how it works. In the summertime, everybody wants to be by the windows and look out over the lake. In the summertime, they want to be hunting around by the fireplace.
Definitely in the winter. The only thing the gals or the servers do not like about the new fireplace is they're in charge of it each night. So
they got to fire it up.
It's not necessarily a gas fireplace, so they're putting birch logs in periodically throughout the night.
Oh, that's all right too. Yeah, it looks like you got a nice fire going now. You talked about some local fare, Josh. That's got. I know you've mentioned to me a little bit about a menu you're looking into.
Part of the menu this summer, we're going to incorporate into the big menu scheme itself a local fare section, and we dabbled with this a little bit last summer, and it went over really well. This whole sustainability, going green, I think that's the trend of the future. And being able to provide something that's local, it just gives myself a good feeling, and it should anybody that's dining on local fare as well.
Well, you know, we are a small community, and you have to support people in your community.
Right.
And those are trying to make it in the area here. And so I just really commend you for doing that, Josh, because when you talk about the going green, just think of what you're saving as far as your trucking costs and your fuel and things like that. But But all that aside, what you are doing is you are helping out your fellow local businessmen.
It's just knowing yourself that you're doing a good thing was what it comes down for me. And the product is wonderful. And actually, for the most part, the product is much more fresh. Price-wise, I try to remain reasonable without the trucking costs. That does help. But being it is a local person, they might have to recuperate their.
They don't have the volume, probably.
Exactly.
And so, do you want to give us an idea of some of the local fare that you do?
Sure.
Use?
We're going to feature some local farm-raised free-range chickens. And we're going to do probably 5 or 6 different dishes with that throughout the winter, and whatever goes the best, we'll probably pick 1 or 2 of those items to go on the summer menu. We're going to do some bison tenderloin. If you're a big beef eater, bison is very similar to beef. Actually, I like the flavor of it a little bit more, and it's a lot more leaner and healthier.
Yeah, so watch those pounds, right? Yeah, there you go.
We're going to feature a pork special yet, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going to get that. I have about 3 places sourced within a 20 to 30 mile radius.
Okay. There's something really exciting about knowing that you're going to know who has grown this, and when you brought up the chickens, I had this image of, you got some land back there, Josh. You could fence it off and maybe have a chickens back there too, or are you going to let that be somebody else?
In my free time, which is very minimal right now.
Right. You talked a little bit too, Josh, about the local fair, and I know one other thing that you're thinking about doing is some catering. Now,
right.
What do we have for that?
We're probably going to throw our hat into the catering ring real soon here. I just have to get a couple key people in place, and with that, it's going to open up a lot more new options too. I think a lot of people are dining in, but they still want to have somebody come and take care of them at the same time.
They've got their beautiful homes that they are maintaining and they like to be at, and so they like somebody coming in. And I know you've done some of that already, and it's gone over very well.
A real neat thing, if this does come to fruition, we're going to have a catering shack, so we can actually come on site and cook right at the residence.
Not mess up their kitchen, right?
Right.
I like that idea. Oh, Josh, you've got a lot of things going on, and so I just want to recoup that, make sure people know to come out and sit by the fireplace in either place, and and even if you don't get a fireplace table, the food makes up for it.
For sure.
And you still get to take some time and maybe just come over and sit by it. You got your Valentine's specials the whole week before Valentine's Day, which is February 14th on a Sunday. And I really like your local fair idea.
Great.
Really like that. And so if people need to get a hold of you and make a reservation?
The restaurant number is 218-334-3555. Also, email address is spankystonehearth@yahoo.com, and I do check that daily as well.
Okay, and I do know that Josh is going to be jumping in the water for Polar Plunge, so make sure that you check out Spanky Stone Hearth representation at the Polar Plunge. And so we'll see how frozen, and you're going to go down there looking for special fish, right?
For sure.
That's the idea.
We'll come up with a crappie special for the evening.
There you go. Okay, well, thanks for joining us on the Vergas Show. You have a good day. Thank you, Josh.
Yes.